Okay, let's go, man. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to. Man, I forgot the name of this podcast for a second. Did you
That's
see
crazy.
that?
Hey, we're living up to our name then.
Yeah. Well, something else came to
You
mind. Doesn't
you
matter.
forgot the name of the podcast, so
Yeah.
we were actually left unfocused and untitled.
Yeah, at the same time. That's crazy. That over there, who remembered the name, is Rayman. I am Tyler, otherwise known as the host of the podcast. He doesn't know the name of. Yeah,
I'm just a guest.
just a guest. Man, I really hope people like you, Ray, so I can bring you back on sometime. Really hope, but it's not up to me. I don't make these decisions. You know. Yeah. So we're back, Raymond. How you doing? How you been? I hear you've been well.
Good. I've been bad. I've been worse, but I'm doing good now.
I was bad, and then I was real bad, but then I was not so bad.
That's how it is. Now we're good. Now
That's
we're
the
good.
arc. What is it?
We were like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, like parabola, but with it's a U, not an N. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how letters work. You ever think about how like some letters are just other letters, but different? You ever think about
Language
that?
is just crazy. Okay, I'm not gonna go into language, but if we want to go into language, we can.
It's
That like we all universally agree within like groups of people that like this means something that you put together that makes a sound out of your mouth, and we all agree on what these meanings are as a group.
and we also correlate that with shapes on paper or other various things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, you can see how hard it would be for us to go back like thousands of years to like find writing or whatever from thousands of years ago and like be unable to decipher it because it's like it's all arbitrary. None of it has to make sense. Like our language, English especially, is just absolutely ridiculous. There's rules, but then there's more exceptions to the rules than there are rules.
This is what it should be. We have some cases where that's not the case, so let's show you these ones first.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? I before E, or is it I after E?
I before E, except after C.
Yeah. So it's like, why even have the rule in the first place? Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, if you couldn't tell, we do talk about anime on this podcast.
We did.
Refresh your memory.
It's been a couple weeks. I don't really.
It's okay, man. Listen, they say every 2 weeks you become a new man.
I guess I must be a new man. I'm not gonna argue with that.
All the proof is there. You can't argue it, It's an airtight argument. So, yeah. When do we have... Okay, so that's going to be last. So that'll be a fun way to end it. Okay, so let's start with our first show, Rayman. Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans, episodes 18 through 21. Well, is everything okay? What was that?
No, that's me just saying, whoa!
Oh, you're just hyping it up. Okay, I got you. Okay. I'm the lead singer, you're the hype man. That's how that happened. Yeah. I like the idea of like, because like generally hype men, hype women, whatever, they're like in the background. They like, they kind of work the crowd maybe a little bit, or they like fill in.
Let's make some noise, everybody.
But like,
hey.
I really like the idea of you being like a silent hype man, like you not quite understanding what a hype man does. So like you don't ever like say anything. You just kind of like gesture wildly.
like
yeah, but like you're always behind me, so like I can't see anything, so like I don't understand what he's doing.
That could be good.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, Gundam. How'd you feel about this one? I feel like we've come off like a pretty hot couple episodes before this.
Mhm.
So now coming in here, a few episodes left of the season. How you feeling about these four?
IBO's raising the ranks, I think. I think we get like good movement in these episodes. We finally get to Earth,
Yeah.
and Mikazuki's kicking butt the entire time. We get like a deal happening on the surface, making moves. We're moving. And then, what do you know it? Like, we're getting another attack from Galahorn, and Biscuit is like in the crossfire. My boy. My beloved. My number one character.
Yeah. So that was like the big punch for that episode and the last four too as well, where it's like, oh, Biscuit, pretty sure Biscuit's, well, we know he's dead. Like, in the moment we're not 100% sure, but then we see
We're death flagging him. Like, I mean, like, we're showing backstories. We're getting like Orga's there being like, I gotta make up a Biscuit.
We did talk about this last time, right? Where we were like, Biscuit has a red flag, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we discussed that, and then what do you know? A few episodes later, dead.
And Biscuit even like looking up to the sky of Earth and being like, I hope my sisters are doing good. Should be harvest season.
Yeah.
And his sisters being like, I wonder how Biscuit's doing. They're like, we can't bother Biscuit. Biscuit's dead.
Oh no. He's gone. Yeah, man. So that I think is gonna have like a huge effect on them. Because like Orga's the leader, and like Mika is like the fighter, I guess. But I feel like Biscuit kind of holds everything together.
Biscuit's the soul, dude, of the team.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, not only is he like the person to tell Orga or Mikazuki when they're out of line, but he's also like just a guy. And sometimes you need the just a guy.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is gonna really just divert everything. Because like they're here on Earth and they're kind of in the middle of this war, I guess. And then Biscuit dying, it's like, what are they gonna do now? They're gonna be demoralized, I think.
Like, if Biscuit's dead, Orga may actually like go like crazy.
Yeah, he might become reckless. And then like, kind of like you said, Biscuit was the one to kind of be like, hey, don't do that. So like Mika might need to step up into that role, but I don't really think he can fill that.
Nah. Like, everyone, like, no one can really replace Biscuit fully. Like, the closest you got is Cordelia, and she's not gonna do anything like that. She's also willing to go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and she's also preoccupied with like her side of everything. I think I made this comparison before to her and Katniss from the Hunger Games, and I feel like these last few episodes kind of have more comparisons as well. We have like the like shooting in the street, and it was like, oh no, it was an accident, or I forget what their excuse was, but then the dust settles, Cordelia's standing there. We have one of the soldiers who was like looking up to her, like dying. She's like, oh, I'm glad I made history, and Cordelia's like, you're dying. This is crazy. Like, again, like having her be the like icon of this movement. So like she's preoccupied. I don't really think she has enough enough mental energy to put towards consoling the group.
You did bring up Cordelia. I did like the scene where we got Cordelia and Atra breaking down together in front of Mikazuki, and he just has to console them. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think it shows like growth between all of them, like not like how close they've gotten, but then also like how honest they can be with each other about their feelings. Like, hey, we can do this, especially on Cordelia's side, where she would, I think it was it in these 4 episodes where she finally shook hands with Mika?
I think so.
But I'm pretty sure it was in these 4 episodes, and they like went to do it, but then she hesitated, and they did bring up the whole like, oh, Mika has, his hands might be dirty or whatever, because that's what he said back in episode 1. It's like, oh, you don't want to shake my hands, it's all dirty or whatever, and they bring it up here again, and they're like, who cares, blah blah blah, whatever, and they shake hands, and it's like, oh, that's a nice like full circle moment.
It's a nice tie back to like the first episode.
Yeah.
Nice,
It's like, oh no, we are fighting for the same thing now. You know, we don't have to worry about like bloodline or anything like that. Yeah, that was good. I like that. Um, let's see. Yeah, yeah. No, I did make a note about the term space rats because I just thought it was really funny, and
So these are a bunch of space rats.
they called them space rats so many times, and I'm like,
It
say
must be
something
funnier
else.
to because in the sub I'm like skipping past that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It was funny to me because it's like you just have one term, you know. Like he
Bunch
heard
of
that
kids
term
like
once.
a rat.
Yeah,
They
it's
live in
okay.
space.
It was dumb. That like I don't think I wrote down his name, but the character with like the gold mask, he
Mm-hmm.
was there. He was fighting. It's like, oh, he's actually doing stuff, you know, because I feel like his character in other shows like multiverse,
He would just be like commander, right?
yeah, yeah, he's kind of like behind the scenes, maybe kind of pulling
But no, this guy
strings.
gets dirty.
Yeah,
He's like,
he gets in there. You know, he is willing to like fight not only for but with his investment, which I think is an
he's
important
good
trait.
though. Like, I mean, he's also the guy who picked up the Weasley guy who looks like Hitler.
Oh yeah,
That I can't.
the like one adult that was still with them
Yeah,
in the yeah.
yeah.
He knows how to see something like he knows how to see the important pieces with
Mhm.
everything, you know.
And he knows that guy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like the Weasley adult, he's important. He's big.
He is unfortunately important. I hate him with all
He
my
knows
heart.
quite a lot, and he's
Yeah.
very useful. Even though he's willing to betray anything just for his own survival.
I mean, yeah, he's the character in those like epic stories where it's like season 9 and you're like, how is he still alive? But it's like, hey, he knows how to survive. He knows how to get in touch with the right people at the right times. Like everyone hates him, but he is a survivor.
It's
That's
like
him.
he's been doing this for years. He's a professional,
Yeah,
seasoned at it.
exactly. Yeah.
Not his first rodeo.
Um, yeah, and then I think the kind of like thing that is matched with the big fight at the end is a huge turn for them, right? Where they get there and Mackinac isn't who they think he is anymore. He's not their prime minister anymore, so that kind of breaks down their entire plan of like getting here, getting the power, getting the connections to like do what they have to do with Cordelia and all that. And it's like, oh no, I actually don't have that power anymore. It's like, well, why did you, you couldn't have communicated
Well,
that with us?
you know, it's like if you came sooner, it would have been done.
Yeah, it's like there's, I don't know, the whole plan fell apart, and then now he's like blackmailing them. He's like, oh, you could leave, you could, I won't stop you, but if you do leave, then anyone that I know is gonna be after you. Or no, oh no, he's like, there's some people already out there looking for you. You know, it'd be a shame if someone told them where your last whereabouts were. And it's like you guy, trying to blackmail us and everything. So, yeah. I don't think they agreed on anything yet. I think the whole like ambush sort of got in the way of that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Now, I was talking about the biscuit being gone and all that. Like, how desperate is Orga going to get?
Yeah,
You know,
it's like I like the battle here. The battle is really good.
it was good.
Like they
Yeah.
come down on like their shields and they're dropping in. They got
Mhm.
the swords. The whole squad's there. I was like, this feels nice.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're getting big.
It's full. All
But it's
hands
like
on
an
deck.
actual trained unit.
Yeah. That that character too. That woman that leads them, leads the Outer Earth division or whatever.
Yeah,
She's a character.
she's her eccentric moments are. I'm okay with it. I don't mind.
Yeah. It is. It is very like almost like cartoon villain.
Mhm.
Not always, but she does have her moments where it's like, are you a real person? you know.
She's definitely like playing it up. At least like the characters play it up. That's what I should say.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun because like other than her, like we don't really have a character like that in the show,
Yeah.
you know.
So she's like,
fun.
"Where's Goldilocks?" And then he's like, he's with his kid, and she's like, "He has a kid."
What?
Isn't he on Earth though with the kid?
I think so.
Expect a surprise with him.
Yeah. So I mean, only a few episodes left.
Is it 3 or 4 more episodes?
I think it's 25.
So I guess that's the full 4. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's funny. I was thinking about that the other day about how like theoretically us watching 2 a week would have us have an episode that's odd out, but because of the way we started doing 1 at a time, and so like when we finally decided to switch over to 2, it just so happened that we started that on an odd number, so now it kind of works out.
Shifted perfectly.
Yeah. It kind of fills out. I just thought that was funny. Yeah,
for this and summertime, right?
This and summertime. Yep, same situation. And then Nana, I don't really know. I don't remember. I think it's 40. I think it is an odd number. I think it's like 43 or 47.
I was gonna say 47 off the top of my head. That could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that though. But like, yeah. I mean, like I said, only a few episodes left in the season. There's a second season, so it's not like the end of the story. But yeah, I mean, this is really the like big moment.
Nana
I think
is 47.
47. Yeah.
I'm just confirming that for myself.
This is kind of like the big blowout of the climax, I think. And so, I think the next few episodes, I still think there'll be like 1 or 2 like big-ish things that'll happen. But I do think we're going to be winding down to like them almost like planning for the next season, I guess, to be like, okay, that's what I think anyway. With like the whole, because all that stuff was going on in the news as well. They were broadcasting it, and like here's what's happening, and so there's confusion. It's like some people think that Tekkadan and their side is bad, some people think the other side. So it's like, what's going on here? Everyone has to pick their side. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you got about IBO, right?
Just hope that Biscuit lives, dude.
Oh yeah, that's not.
Okay, all right. I'll silently hope Biscuit lives for someone who hasn't finished all of this.
I think your hope is in vain. But we'll
Joke's
see.
on you. Biscuit dies, but he gets flashback sequences in season 2, so the character's still featured.
Season 2 is just a Biscuit prequel. It's like,
Let's go.
I'm not sure. I think there's about like tens of people who asked for this. There's about 11 people who wanted this. Yeah. Yeah, next we got, I already mentioned it, Summertime Rendering. Episode 18 through 21. More good stuff. Obviously we're same deal as the other one, right? We're nearing the end, so we're kind of getting all the big stuff towards the end. Yeah, I think my favorite things is to start at the end. So Ushio's back. That's huge.
She was the shell the whole time.
Big W there.
She's like, I will deform my mind into the shell, and then only you can bring me back my memories. What a daring move to actually just go into the ocean. That's wild.
It's like how like Walt Disney froze his head. Like, hey, at some point, I'll be back. I don't know when, but I'll be here.
You, man.
Yeah, so that made me really happy. It's like, oh, she's back. This is great. You know, because again, very similar to Biscuit, where it's like, hey, character, big character gone. There's now a hole in our group, so now that she's back, great. She's also like one of, if not the most powerful character in the group, so very, very helpful for fighting them.
We did trade Ushio for Hizuru.
Was that an even trade?
I guess it's even.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cause like, Inosuke pops off, dude.
That's true. That is very true, right? Like, they like took the reins. They're like, no, I got this. And then we had like a really good fight scene, I think. And then what's his name? Shinpei just like, you know, he like looped again, and then Masahito, or like, you know, big forearms, was like, you fool, you've killed her. You know, because like he you know, with him looping, he was able to know like how to beat. And so I was like, you fool, you think looping saved you, but looping killed your friend.
Me hoping that they loop one more time just to get her back, but knowing that they're not gonna do it. This is the end. This is the last couple episodes. She dead.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah, she's gone. She was a sacrifice that needed to be made.
Unless we can get some shenanigans, some chicanery, if you will.
That's possible. That's possible.
Shinpei is able to go back in time, because this entire thing is actually nonsensical. Let's be real.
I agree.
At least when the time loop, or the origin of the time loop, is like when he meets her. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It all kind of starts with her, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe it ends with her as well. I mean, it was also like her character is insane as well, right? Where she like has her brother or whatever, like his mind inside of her.
It's like the brother shadow spirit is inside of her.
Yeah.
But he is not a shadow.
Right.
Except he is a shadow. He's like the other guy, except not really. He's like Shide or Masahito. They're the same guy. They're kind of the same. It's like we're shadows, but we're not.
Unless.
Because that's how he went into the body. He's like, oh, you're also like me. I'll just take your shadow thing. Which is how they won the first time.
But it doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
I did also really like Masahito's character.
Yeah, Shide's cool, dude.
When we learned, you know, when we had that like very tense conversation between him and Shinpei, where they started talking and they started talking about Final Fantasy, which I thought was funny. And I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. And then it got really serious really quickly. And then like
what are these photos?
Yeah.
Like you've been around for hundreds of years. Don't lie to me.
Yeah. You know, and then we see like his connection with Haine, right? Haine.
Yeah.
And then everything starts to make sense. Everything starts coming together. You know.
Summertime rendering really just keeps delivering. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it does a really good job of answering questions in like an interesting way.
They even pulled up like the timeline drawing, and they're like, "Yeah, this is everything that happened, guys. In case you guys were not paying attention for like the past 20 episodes.
In case your eyes were closed,
we got it all drawn out here. Anything you missed.
Open your eyes.
To be fair, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, no, there is. I mean, I'm sure I've missed stuff as well.
It's like when he started pulling up, he's like, "Oh yeah, they copied from this loop and that loop." I'm like, "Damn it, I forgot they did that."
Well, I guess we'll start again from episode 1. Gotta catch everything.
It's like, it's like actually kind of smart writing. I give it appreciated. No.
Yeah.
It's like leaving. Actually, not even diminishing it. It is intelligent writing, because what you're doing is you're leaving things that are kind of open in the back, so when you can write about them in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's the way to do it, right? Like unless you that's something that's very interesting to me about like books in particular, but like different authors like writing styles. Or like some authors when they're writing a book or even like a series, they basically like write the entire thing first. That way they can fill in any like foreshadowing or what's the opposite? Flashbacks before like putting out the product. But the other people do what you just said where it's like, I'll just kind of keep it open and kind of see where it goes. And then I kind of fill it in later. That way when you read it, it all sounds like it was pre-planned, but it wasn't necessarily planned beforehand. It was just kind of wrote it in a way so that later on you can close loops that people didn't even know necessarily existed.
And it's like the thing is with that too is like a lot of authors use both. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They do both. A lot of authors pre-write the majority of their story, and they leave some stuff open in case they actually ever want to go back and touch on that and see if it's important, or if they're like, nah, I don't really need to touch that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then they can write like a one-off sentence and be like, that covers that entire thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is yeah, it's that fine line between like what works with the story, you know, and you know, you've definitely read or watched stuff before where you're like, that didn't quite make sense, or you know, you see like some heavy retconning of things. It's like, ooh, they put that out and then realized it didn't really work out later on. You know, it's tough. Making something from nothing, not very easy. Not very easy. You know.
Very difficult, actually.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We got the very hard to watch. Okay, this is more my wheelhouse, okay? Very hard to watch. So, Mio and Shinpei, that like whole scene where like so I don't know if you remember this, Ray. Let me remind you what happened, okay? I'm very excited. So was in a room as he is that so, you know. Mio walks in and So decides to confess to her, right? Or like sort of like remind her like see he already kind of confessed prior to this, you know, like everyone knows. So he starts to do it and then Mio is like, "Oh, I'm Shadow Mio." Which is really funny to me because it turns out she was not Shadow Mio, but she was saying that to like get him to stop talking. You know, because Mio doesn't really like him like that, right? And they talk about that, and they're like, she rejects him sorta, and then So's like, you like Shinpei, right? And then Mio, this is killing her because she doesn't want to say that out loud because that's embarrassing. And yeah, L's for So, I guess. You know? And what happens after that? I think Mio goes up and confesses to Shinpei, right? And then he's like, yeah, I know. Which is also really funny to me. She's like, oh, you knew? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, it wasn't super hard. And then Shinpei, and then Ray, have you ever heard of the term love triangle before? Are you aware of this term? Okay, let me introduce you to the love rhombus, all right? Because Ushio is dead right now, right?
And she's still beating the rhombus.
And she's still
winning
a part of the rhombus. Yo, it's crazy. This
the
is
rhombus
before she comes back.
Don't lose.
Oh my god, man, how bad has that got to feel that you're losing to someone that not only is dead, but when she was alive most recently, she wasn't real. Oh man.
Can we also add on to that like this is also your sister?
Wow.
Like that angst is like
wow
times 10, dude.
Not really, you know. Not really, right? They're like adopted or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, is that not true?
It's not wrong. It's like,
okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not like advocating for it, you know. I'm not, I don't have like a flag that's like, yes, do this. But You know, in the
Also,
grand,
like they're all like kind of related. It's like, yeah, this is technically your sister, but also not really though. But like,
aren't we all related as God's children? You know what I mean? God with a
you answered
capital
it better
G.
than
You know?
anyone possibly could. But it really is like the train of going from like, I like you, Mio, and it's like, I'm Shadow Mio, and it's like, to like,
Excuse me?
I'm not Mio, I'm actually Mio, I'm just pretending to be Shadow Mio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. Because when that happened, I was like, of course she's Shadow Mio, right? Because like,
Mhm.
even with the way Shadow Mio talks, like very frankly, because she's like,
Mhm.
I don't care, like I'm not part of this really. And then for like moments later, for So to, I, I think it's when So brings up Shinpei, that like Mio makes
Mhm.
a face and he's like, "You're not a shadow, are you?" And she's like, "No."
So is smarter than he has to be. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
very smart. Honestly, he deserves better. Not better than Mio. I'm saying like in general, like he's a
Better
good
treatment.
character. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cool.
So is a real one.
Yeah, he is. He's
Like, I
down.
mean, anyone who really like in the end of this, they're kind of real. Let's be real. Let's say.
Yeah, yeah. No, completely agree. Completely agree. Um, yeah. Best part of the 4 episodes was that interaction because it was just really funny. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that. I mean, after that, like we already talked about Ushio coming back, slicing up some evil shadows, and then we're kind of in the middle. We kind of end the episode in the middle of that. So we're like, ooh, what happens now? Who's gonna win?
Okay, we do also. I do like that. We do get like Hizuru telling, like, Shinpei, like, Haine is just a kid, really. So like, don't, you know, it's like remember that because she's gonna act like a kid.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Sort of like getting into her head. Okay,
Mhm.
this might be important of like how to approach the situation. Because yeah, I mean everyone that I think is one of the more interesting kind of like flashbacks of this show is their relationship to be like, oh, they knew each other from back then. So like it would, it makes sense of their like history and like Haine might hold, her like having a grudge, I guess. Oh,
Mhm.
you left me. We were friends. It's like, well, you killed and ate someone, I think. If I remember that correctly.
You killed my brother.
Her brother, yeah.
It's like I don't know if
Someone
that's
pretty
fair.
important to me. We weren't adopted or anything. We were real siblings. Isn't that crazy? Um, yeah. Anything else for summertime? Rayman?
I think we covered it. It's pretty good. I like
Good
Shide.
stuff.
He's a good character.
Yeah, he's
And
fun.
like we got a lot of introspection into him.
I
And I'm
do
ready to
like.
see like that confrontation he also has with Jaime at the end.
Yeah. I was about to mention. You just reminded me of like I like the like sows of doubt that Shinpei tries to give him, where where Shinpei's like, hey, what do you think that that Heine really cares about you? You know,
Mm.
if if she did, she would have done this and that, and there is a second where it flashes to him, and like he does have like he is thinking about that, right? Like for maybe the first time ever, he is thinking about like, oh, does Heine actually have my best interests at heart, or am I just like her like thug or whatever? Am I just like
Mhm.
the dude with the forearms going around punching faces, right? I don't know if that'll actually be how his character ends, but I don't know. I just think it goes, just goes to show like Shinpei, him being the looping character, him using information more so than just like him, I don't know, like, making a gun or something, you know?
I do like again that he's not like a brute force protagonist. I guess technically is because he does brute force to be a loop,
Sure.
but it's not the same though.
There are rules though.
Mhm. it does move forward. You can't infinite loop. So he knows he has risks he has to push up a bit.
Speaking of that real quick as well, I love, him just being like a loop character and like his personality and everything. I love the moment, especially later on in the season, where something will happen and the thought of suicide immediately comes up as an option, where like, I think, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is when someone dies. Is it when Hizuru dies, maybe? I think. And like Shadow Mio is with him, and it immediately cuts to Shadow Mio like cocking her gun and being like, "Do you want me to do it?" Like killing him to like loop it again. And I just love that because it's like, all right, and like cocks the gun, and it's like, no, wait, hold on, wait, we might need to use this. Hold on, we might need to, we might still have use out of this timeline. And then also, with the restraints that the writers or ever put on the show, is like, well, how many more loops does he have? Like
it's only as much loop as the writer will allow.
Right. Yeah. Which again, we mentioned briefly the writing approaches, but like that's another thing with this too, where it's like on paper, time looping OP. So like, how do you reel that back? Well, every time he loops, he goes a little bit further forward, and then also he can only loop so many times before he doesn't have any like metaphorical runway left.
It's like we've done looping anime before, maybe not in the show, but we've went through, like, I'll name a couple off the top of the head that are very easy.
Yep.
Erased.
Yep. 10 out of 10. Perfect.
ReZero.
No flaws. ReZero, never seen it.
Okay. A Girl Who Left Through Time.
Why?
I had to bring it up.
Why would you even do that? Why would you do that to me?
I have to bring up one of our disdains.
I just thought of a really good name for this episode, but I don't know if I should do it. We'll see. That's a little tidbit for the listeners out there. If you clicked on this episode and you were like, why was that the title? Tricked you. Anyway, go ahead. Tokyo Revengers. Okay. Couldn't believe you didn't
Tokyo
name
Revengers,
that one.
another looper. The Tokyo Revengers is in the same lane as Erased, except not really.
Is ReZero actually good, or is it just like memed?
I don't know. I've only watched like the first season.
Because I feel like the whole like Rem and Ram thing, like the waifu thing, I feel like that carries the show. Is the show actually good, or is it like?
I think there's good moments. I think the problem I have is that Subaru is not smart unless the writer's like, okay, you can be smart now.
Yeah, I feel like that is one of the more common complaints about like the main character kind of sucks. It's like it's like almost frustrating to watch at times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. Again, I've never seen it.
That's the only thing I've heard. I don't know if it gets better in later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like the only thing I know is that like this is it. So I'm only judging this on like one season worth of show. If it does stay that same or gets worse, I don't know how I feel. But like summertime rendering, intelligence. Erased, intelligence. Tokyo Revengers, shrug shoulders. It's I guess he's smart. It's just more like the situations are just kind of, they're pretty much out of his control at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also the kind of what happens with Tokyo Revengers, is that he doesn't really have control over the situations.
Interesting.
I guess Erased is similar in that respect. But Erased, I always felt like the main character had some say.
Well, no, because doesn't with Erased, let's see.
Well, he doesn't have a say where he goes, right? But I feel like the main character uses so much to control the situation.
Character even Erased, I watched so long ago, like a decade ago. He's
like a kid.
Wasn't Erased? did he even have control over like initiating the time travel?
No, he has no control over that. It's just random.
Right, because like at least in Tokyo Revengers, it can be like, all right, we're going backward, and then we're
It's like
going
we're going
forward.
backward from this day.
Yeah, yeah, but like I feel like with Erased, it was just kind of like him waking up and being like, oh, I guess I'm in the
I'm
past
here.
now.
Listen, because with the race, the entire point is like he'll keep going back in time until he fixes something.
Right, right, yeah. Which is interesting because then I feel like Erased plays with like being somewhere for a lot longer,
Mm-hmm.
which is different than this show, Summertime, because it is like boom, boom, boom. We gotta get in, get the information, get out, and then loop again.
Erased, he's like there for like most of the show.
Yeah,
Is like him like in the past,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then only in like the last I don't want to say 3 or 4 episodes, but I don't remember.
yeah.
It's like okay, we're back in the present now.
Hmm.
Also, his mom dies. I was just like, whoa.
Well, hold on now. Yeah, spoil it for everyone.
It's like episode 1 stuff.
Ah, doesn't happen the first 60 seconds. It's a spoiler.
My mistake.
That does not count. That includes the OP. Don't spoil the opening song for me, right? So we got Nana. Episode 18 through 21.
We actually got a new song in Nana. That's not the opening.
We do. Yeah.
I was like, let's go, but also let's not go.
But also, where's the opening? Where's the theme song?
Broken Road. That was good. All right.
Let's see. So like I said, man, I like starting at the end. We have Nana in morally conflicted, I feel like, by the end of
A
these 4
dilemma
episodes.
she knows that she put herself in and
Yeah.
did not want to believe it would be this way. But it ended up this way anyway, even though she knew it would kind of go this way.
Again, man, we've talked about this before, but like I really like Nana, especially in our lineup, because it is so different than the other shows, where the other shows are very anime, and like
And now it's just kind of real.
yeah, it's kind of like this is just stuff that happens. So
Like, it has its anime moments, but then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll hit you with the real now.
and like for her to like her whole thought process too behind it, where yeah, she is very self-aware, like like you said, where she knows she put herself in the situation, but she's like battling with herself, like, okay, I'm here. Do I really want to be here? Is this really what I want? Like, does it matter if I know that he's using me? Like, I'm allowed to enjoy myself for one night or whatever, right? And so, it is that kind of back and forth, like, how will Nana feel about this? Is it the type of girl I really am? There's a lot of stuff swirling around, And then even with that, like, the show kind of starts to paint Takumi in a very specific way, to where you're like, maybe we don't like Takumi,
I
Maybe
think he's not even like that bad, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's not. He's definitely not that
Like,
bad. It is just
he's like, he's exactly what he is, though. Like, exactly how Nana paints him is how he is.
right. I think that when I say turn, I think it is different than what Nana
Wants.
Well, no, it is just like different than what she fantasized him to be before she met him, right?
Okay.
It's also not what she pictured, right? Because you have like your celebrity crush or whatever, and it's like, oh, if we could be together forever, that'd be amazing. And so like she had these like fantasies about him, and then she met him, and she's like, oh, he's really cool. He's like eating my tomatoes and stuff, calling me a good cook, and then this happens, and it's like, oh, he's in a band and he's famous, and so he talks to a lot of girls, and it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's not like he's an evil person, but it's not what she thought. And then it literally causes her to like go down this, it's like moral dilemma, right? Like, what am
like,
I doing?
Yeah, he's not looking to settle down right now.
And then, which is totally fair, right? He's in a band, very popular, traveling the world, all that stuff. But then he does leave his number.
And then he says he's coming back, like, you know,
And like,
he's like, I'll be back at the end. And he's like, make some food for me. I'll be over.
and so like, what do you read that as? Like, is that just like, is she the only girl that he that he
I
gave his
think
number to?
the way I read that was like, you will be the girl that I'll be coming back to while I'm here.
Mm. So exclusive, location based, but not
That's
like
how I read it. I don't know. We haven't seen again much of him actually out there,
sure,
but at least
sure.
from what we've seen of him, that's what I thought immediately. I don't know.
So my initial thought when I was watching this was similar to yours, I suppose. Mine was just like, I think Nana's hyping it up too much because when she sees that, she thinks she's like, oh man, I'm the one, like she starts to think about, oh, what am I gonna cook for him? What are we gonna do? Like she starts again romanticizing this person like she does with every man that she meets, right? Like we've had 21 episodes of her, of her doing this over and over again of like, he's the one, and it's like, he just waved to you. Like, what are you talking about? So I think she's overhyping this, and I don't think she's like the one. I think that, maybe she's high on a higher step than other girls that he's that he's seen, but I don't think she's like exclusive or like, oh, but you're my favorite. Like, no, I don't think that. And again, it's not a bad thing. It is, I'm sure she's not the only one that understands what
She needs to do is she needs to see the other girls Takami's he's hanging out with, so they can form like a pseudo bond about this.
They can form an army.
They can form a union.
From a small nation. Listen. We have rights. We want to be unionized. He's like, I don't understand what's going on. What is this?
It's like you get separate days where you can hang out with each of us. Fair and square. You gotta you get this harem in contract.
But like, I don't think that actually sounds like a really like funny, like generic concept for an isekai of like, oh, there's a harem, but they form a union. It's like,
I got transported to another world and made a harem, but they formed a union on me.
What do I do?
But after we got married, they formed a union? Question mark. There we go. That's the name of the anime. They can steal that one, or the light novel. However they want.
That one's for free. But I think ultimately, no matter how genuine it is, I think ultimately this is not the situation that Nana should be in. I don't think she should allow herself. Because again, I think this one in particular, like Takumi, again, not a bad person, but I think this one in particular, he is just like the celebrity musician. And like that to me, 99% of the time can't be the start of a healthy relationship of like you idolizing someone for something, Because
it's Nana, this is a spiral down.
Yeah. I think this might be like her hitting a low. We are not quite, but we are like halfway through the show. I would say
it's like the no text at the end also answers a lot of questions for her.
Yeah. Where she texts him. I forget what it was about. But he could be busy.
But he could be busy. That's cool. Kind of. Not really. It depends.
But like for me, it's like, okay, so that ends. She texts him and she's like, oh, but I didn't get a reply. When you text someone, how long do you wait before you consider no reply? Because like
I got like a 2 or 3 hours on like a no reply before I'm like, this is like I've been read.
Right. Because like if I
think that's like my personal one. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, no, I think that's good because like if it's like been a few minutes, you're not gonna say, oh, I didn't get a reply to this. It's like, well, it's only been a few minutes. Yeah, calm down. But like,
Okay,
yeah,
let me watch the episode again and look at the time she sent the message and the time and show.
these are the timestamps. Um, but yeah, I mean, if it is like a genuine no reply, then I mean, he could be busy, but I don't know. I don't know. Again, that in itself, though, you know, whether it was he's busy or he's ignoring her or whatever, like that in itself, I think, still proves my point of like this is not the relationship that you want. You know, because clearly we know Nana, we know how clingy she can be. I don't think this whole show is literally premised on her not being able to deal with a long distance relationship.
Also, like, to also put something in her court as well, she did know this was the expected outcome of this relationship.
Right, yeah. Yeah. It's seen a mile away.
Like in her character, she's like, I'm doing this and I think it's gonna go bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be Nana who kind of pulls her out of it. Again, you know, I don't know. Do you think that Nana will let it slip? That
I think it's time. I don't know. I'm like in the little throaty.
getting real emotional about it. Yeah.
No, I'm just like a lot of talking. I think it's time that we see our Nana rise up.
Yeah.
I don't think other Nana's coming in to save the day with this one. I think this is the time we get to see her stand up for what she wants. She's taking too much personal L's. I think this is the growth part.
That would be good.
Because she's even self-aware of what's happening this time.
Yeah, I think she might be a little too proud to tell anyone.
Anything? Like, that's also part of it. Junko does know, and she can always ask Junko for some advice on the situation, even though Junko doesn't know all of it.
Yeah, because Junko just kind of suspects, right? Because Nana was like, "Hey, cover for me with other Nana," but like she doesn't actually know what's going on.
Yeah, so she can always give more info to Junko on that. But I think this is Big Nana's time for redemption.
I think that we'll see more and more of like different things happening with Nana and like the people around her sort of questioning it. You know, I think I agree with you that Nana isn't going to tell anyone, you know, but I do think we'll get like little moments where other Nana or Junko or even like Yasu or something, you know, it's kind of like seeing Nana maybe like distraught or like acting kind of weird.
Yasu's the end game for this anime. When Nana rizzes Yasu, it's over.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, man. Yasu's cool, man. Yasu's that character that, you know, I feel like every show needs.
The thing with Yasu is that like everyone likes Yasu, and then they always wonder like, how'd you know? It's like, you know, you just told me. It's like, yeah, Ren's nice to me because like he knew I'm the type of guy to do this. Yeah.
So listen, man, I'm just a guy, you know. I'm just
Yasu,
a guy
just
living
the
his
guy.
life.
He stays quiet about anything you don't want to tell anyone. He's like, I'll hide that for you. I'm not gonna tell anyone. That's our secret. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, just a guy being a dude. Let's see, and then oh yeah, I guess this does happen. There's a lot of episodes. This does happen within this bunch where Nana and Ren get back together.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole nother side of the coin, you know, like, oh, they get together and it's actually good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not going wrong. Like Ren's like, I'm sorry. He was like, I was scared. And then Yasu's like, yeah, I kind of told him.
Yeah, I was there. I did.
Yasu's pulling dubs.
Yasu is like leading the league in assists. He's doing great out here.
Number one, really number one. I will point out, like, Shin is a funny character to me because he's just like he's doing his own thing and it's the greatest. He's a mahjong shark. Every episode I think we've seen him like win every mahjong game.
Shin Shin concerns me. You know? Do
It's
you
okay.
do you
Delinquent
remember
phase.
there was a do you remember after the party, you know, because they had like a get together with Trap Nest and all them, right?
Yeah.
And Nana woke up with in bed with what's his name? I already forgot his name. Shin.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just talking about Shin. I woke up in bed and Shin, and she started to freak out. And she was like, did we do anything?" And then Shin was like, "No. You, what does he say? He says like, you would need to pay me for that or something." And then Nana's like, "What?" She's like, what is Shin out here doing?"
It's like we already know what he's doing.
Jeez. Like,
He's
this
getting
nigga's making
bank.
his money?
This is how he gets money. He sleeps with girls, hangs out with them all night, and he just lives on other people's money. That's all he does.
This man is a menace. He's a goblin. But yeah,
Yeah, he's goblin. Full goblin mode.
Jesus. Um, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you were, speaking of Yasu, it is funny, they would have that little scene with, Nana and Junko and the other one. What is Junko's man's name?
Don't know it off the top of my head right now.
It's like George or something.
Is it Koichi? I think I see it.
Is that his name? It probably is. Yeah, I wrote it down, so it probably makes sense. Yeah, they think that Nana likes Yasu because of how Nana is talking about Yasu. Like it would.
Yasu's just a dependable guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy. He's like, oh, do you? And then she's like, no, Yasu is Nana's. And then they're like, wait, Yasu and Nana are dating? And she's like, well, no. It's like Nana has everything planned out in her mind, but none of it is real. Like,
it's kind of crazy when I hit you because like she was like kind of psychic with the Sachiko thing. She's like, oh yeah, Sachiko's fake, and like she's like really like.
Yeah, exactly.
In the end game, if other Nana pairs with Yasu, that's crazy. She predicted it. Truly from the future.
What do you think he was gonna say? Do you think he was gonna say anything important? Oh, here we go. Hey, what's up, Rayman? How we doing today?
So this is a weird skip there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That was strange. You were about to say something about the whole like Sachiko thing.
No, I was saying like Nana's daydreaming mentality is often right in weird ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Yasu pairing with other Nana is just a part of that prophecy being foretold.
But I love that though, because I feel like this show does a really good job of like not telling us everything exactly how it's gonna happen, because like I feel like when the show first started and when we first got introduced to like Yasu, right, it was like, oh well, clearly Yasu and Nana go way back. We could totally see them eventually getting together, right? Like they're very comfortable with each other, they're very dependable on each other. And then the show takes a turn and it's like, oh well, no, Nana actually likes Ren. Yasu, like Nana said, just kind of like a big brother to him, and Yasu seems fine with that, right? Seems perfectly okay with that dynamic. And then I feel like he said it half joking but half serious when he baited Ren and was like, if you don't do anything about Nana, I'm gonna take her for myself. In that moment I'm like, yo, I know he's just kind of like,
he's just saying that to egg him.
He's just saying that, but like he might.
Yasu can.
He might do it.
He could if he wanted to. Out of
like,
spite, I guess Yasu doing it just to be like that guy. At least just to force Ren to make a move. I can see him being that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, heck, okay, like, even Nana forced herself onto Yasu and he just pushed her off. He's like, what are you doing?
Get out of here. Get out of here, child.
Yasu the Super Chad.
I hope Yasu finds love before episode 47.
Hope Yasu gets his happiness no matter what happens in this anime. If
whatever that
Yasu
means to
dies
him.
partway through this anime, it's over.
If
Pack it
Yasu
up.
dies, we're not finishing the show. I can't wait for him to die in episode 22. And us just like stop doing the show. It's just like,
We just put out our note and be like, "This is the last week we're covering it."
sorry, not. Turns out we were wrong. Nana only has 22 episodes. Isn't that crazy?
It's not 47. Believe it or
wild?
not.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I'm trying to see if we didn't cover anything. I don't think so. I think we pretty much got everything. Nana finally got a cell phone. That was pretty cool, right? Talk about that for a while. She has a phone now. So I hope at some point that like plays into something, because otherwise why would it matter that she has a phone now? You know? That's
Only
cool.
reason to get a phone was because they were tired of having Nana be the text through for other Nana.
So listen, we can't keep doing this.
Because those text replies, I bet Ren's looking at it and he's like, Nana would never send this.
This doesn't sound like Nana.
So he's like, I'll just buy you a phone. We're just gonna cut it.
And yeah, pretty much the last thing I have is, we see that Blast has another gig. Very excited about that. Yasu just kind of nonchalantly throws that out and was like, "Oh, you guys want to perform again? Well, we have another gig." I'm like, what? when did this happen?
So, listen, Yasu, mastermind, does everything.
But yeah, just kind of like on that, I do like where they're taking Blast, right? Where it's like they're all in. Like even Yasu in particular, who, he left, was kind of doing the lawyer thing. It's like, no, they all, I feel like, are on the same page. They all want Blast to be big and successful. And I'm here for it.
Yasu's like, I'm a lawyer by day. I do the drums by night. Well, he's not the drummer. What is he?
Yeah, drummer. Yeah. No, you're right.
He's drummer?
Yeah, you're drummer.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Well, honestly, there's literally no way to know. There's no way to confirm this.
Not gonna go. It's too much work for myself. Pull up the Nana wiki.
I like the idea of you pulling up the Nana wiki and like the first thing, like in the synopsis, for some reason, the first sentence is Yasu does not play drums. It's like,
Yasu is the drummer. Let's go.
It's a weird thing to say. So yeah, Nana, very good. We're getting through it, man. Very, very good quality show. Lastly, we have Barakamon, episodes 9 through 12, which is also the end of the season, the end of the show. Yeah.
We finished Barakamon.
I thought it was a very, like, bittersweet ending, right? Or just like, hey,
It shows growth because we're starting with the end this week.
that's all we do, starting with the end. Is that the name of the episode? It is not. The name of this episode is gonna be. It's gonna be crazy. You just wait. I can't wait.
Okay.
It's gonna be so good.
We got that. Yeah, bittersweet ending. We go with Honda losing the calligraphy contest, but that's okay.
It is okay, yeah. So, like you mentioned, it shows growth, right? Where episode 1 Honda probably, I don't know, probably would have unalived himself. Would have unalived himself, but
for a 5th place, he would have just straight up been like, "It's over."
Oh my god, it would have been insane. They don't even make a medal for this.
Wait, also, I think like what is it? His like student or whatever, his protege, his follower, got 7th place on that list. Insane.
Oh man, this is not what we want. Speaking of just real quick, speaking of his proteges, those 2 girls, one of them got gold and one of them got silver, and the one who got silver was just so depressed.
That's like the manga one, right? Who like got silver? She's like, I'm ready to end it all here.
No.
It's the other one.
Yeah, opposite. Yeah.
Crazy. Didn't know she was that competitive.
Yeah.
Insane.
Very funny. But yeah, just again speaking of the end, like the growth, like yeah, like by the end of the show, I think Honda finally realizes what's important to him and realizes that like, hey, I still love this art, right? But winning competition shouldn't be the goal. It should just be like doing the art from my art. Him getting inspiration from around him. That one piece that he threw tea on because he assumed that
Literally the best piece he made.
yeah, like I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Like opposite effect that he did where it's like, oh, the writing is actually the negative space and surrounding it is like the stars. That was cool. And then like, another interpretation of like doing stuff from the heart and, from what you love. The piece that he submitted was like the names of all the people on the island, right? That he was working on before. So like that right there is like, so like I like that he finally realized this and can enjoy his
And
life
he
for what
called
it
it the
is.
stone wall.
Yeah, Stonewall.
And then
Man.
he's like, he's building that wall. That wall looked pretty perfect right there.
Yeah. Because I assume that like calls back to the one episode, right, where the old man is showing him how to, is like Tom Sawyering him
Yeah.
into building the wall, but he's like really good at it because he's like locking them all into place.
Master at Tetris.
Metaphors. And it's funny, he says that, and then the old man looks at his side, and he's like, I guess mine doesn't really look as good as yours. It's funny. Man, this show got me, I'll say, or this ending, man. When he was in his slump, and his friend, Fuji something, whatever his friend's name is, gives him the phone, and the island is like on the, like called him, and you have like Naru and all the people called him. I was like, oh man, what a good moment, because he immediately like feels at home. He's talking to people that he loves, and it's like, oh, so good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
The mom being super overprotective is actually played up, and I love it so much.
Yeah, that's great. They're I mean, you do understand where she's coming from, though. Of like, it's like we don't want I don't really want my son going to a place that I can't look after him and make sure he's doing okay. Especially with like the way he has been his whole life.
Who told her all this stuff? It's like, you were in the hospital.
It's like no, it's not. It's not what you think. He was in the hospital though. He was doing pretty bad there for a second because he like forgot to eat. He was like so focused on his work. Yeah, and then I mean it all starts with her like walking in on him and his friends or whatever, and out of context looks pretty crazy.
Bondage question mark is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like no, you have to let me explain. I was dressing them up to make me more comfortable.
Huh?
I said, no. Hold on, I worded that poorly. You are never going back to that island.
This is what they taught you there.
This is what they taught you. But no, yeah, I mean, I like how that ends though, with her, her realizing that one, he does really care about these people, but then two, like he's like teaching them calligraphy, and so those people kind of depend on him. It's like, oh, this is like a real, like genuine relationship.
Yeah, he's not going there for his own, like a part of it is him being selfish and wanting to like work on his calligraphy. But like the other part is like, no, he's like basically part of the village. Like he's helping out, he's doing stuff there.
Yeah. Like these are my people, and just because I go there doesn't mean you're not my mom anymore, but can't be doing this forever. And like, kind of like the dad was trying to reinforce, it's like, oh, he's like figuring himself out, like he is growing, he's learning, he's realizing who he wants to be, and not just like what he's been for the past, I don't know, 20 years or whatever. I don't know how old he is, but
he's finally making his own choices. Let him do it. Exactly. Feed him to the wolves.
If he dies, he dies. The mom's like, no. Are there wolves on the island? Frequently, actually. The mayor's a wolf. Yeah, man. I wrote down this line where he says that the country life is breeding superhumans.
I was just looking at that line.
I'm like, man, that's not. You just don't do any. You just don't do any physical activity. It's not that serious.
When I saw him fighting the kids, I was like, this is just like,
Yeah, it's hilarious.
this is the power of adults. And then Aki comes out, and they're like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's leave. Aki's the real hero.
Aki's been a low-key hero since episode 1.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You don't know how to work a rotary phone?
Yeah, I was just thinking of the same thing. Yeah, that was good. But no, yeah, going back to the dodgeball thing for a second. Yeah, like him, like how petty they are to be like, we're gonna play dodgeball, but we're gonna like stand behind the kids so we can pelt the kids with dodgeballs. So petty.
It's like, we're just playing a game, officer. The kids are like all bruised with like round circles on their bodies.
It's like clearly been hit. The like logo on the dodgeball is like imprinted into their face, and it's like, yeah, I feel like the evidence is pretty clear. Yeah, that was good. This is completely tangential, but did the dodgeball scene? It did, right? I'm pretty sure the dodgeball scene in Spy Family already happened. Like,
I don't remember.
In the anime, I'm pretty sure. Everyone out there, go look that up. All right, that's a fantastic scene. They're like build up like Dragon Ball Z build up of the one character getting ready to throw the ball, and then what it turns into, peak comedy. Yeah. And then yeah, don't know if there's really.
We get the nice summer festival to end it off. At least the island version before coming back.
Yeah. That was also, to use the word again, kind of bittersweet too, because it's like, oh, it's a really nice time. Everyone's having a good time. We have our little high drinks here and there, but then it does end with them at the fireworks, and like, oh, it's the old crew. You know, it's always the same people coming here. Mm-hmm. Fireworks go off, and like, Honda
like all the older kids looked at him and they're like, yeah, he's leaving.
yeah, you just tell, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's leaving. It's like, well, how do you know? It's like, come on, look at him. Why would he be sad right now? Like, what is the one thing that he wouldn't tell us, that it would be hard for him to tell us, that would be sad? He's leaving. That's what's happening. Yeah. It all worked out in the end, though. That's the important thing. Yeah, I think that's it.
Overall, just a nice, warm anime.
Yeah, nice. MVP of the show? Naru.
No, Naru is the MVP.
When he just one more quick thing, right? When he was at the house, when he was home with his parents, and like, I think his his like friend / like manager or whatever, like opened the door and like found him, found Honda just like scribbling and like trying to, find inspiration for his next piece. he had his hair tied like Naru's, like trying to like summon inspiration. I just thought that was really funny. It's like, what? How desperate were you that you thought that was gonna work? that was gonna actually do something for you? He is a madman. Man, there are children yelling outside. I don't know. I think some children are dying outside my apartment, right? Never know. Watch out for that Amber Alert.
Oh no.
But yeah, man. that's it for Barakamon. I agree with you. Very, very warm, very just nice, all around feel good show. Yeah, good stuff. But we did finish the show, so we do have to pick a new show. Rayman, Man of Ray.
It's time.
So what we're gonna do, for the people out there that don't know, which is everyone, a bunch of ideas for stuff we're gonna introduce as we finish shows, right? Try to spice it up a little bit, okay? So for this one, we're gonna do a anime randomizer. My idea, Ray, was to hit it a few times. You know, maybe get like, you know, probably like a handful of shows, and then we can maybe pick from there. How's that sound?
All right.
Okay, so I
I'm
think
down
like,
for that.
I think maybe 5 is good, unless we absolutely hate everything. Then we can do it a couple more times. Just have a random site right here, just a random anime. We're gonna go one by. Oh, I wonder. Will this be better? Can I share my screen? Can I share my screen and hide?
Yeah, you can share it. Yeah, in your camera. It is gonna show up in the recording if you're just recording like that.
Can I hide my camera though? Is that something that's
I think
possible to
if
do?
you can focus on your screen, and it will shrink me down.
Yeah, that's not what I want though. Okay, I got it now. Okay, so yeah, let's see this
Okay.
because I have a very specific overlay. So if I have more than 2 screens up, it kind of messes it up. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna go up on that. We're gonna share this. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Default settings, and then I'm going to hide my camera. That didn't work. That's not what I wanted to do. Now it just shows my logo. That's not. What are we? Oh, uncheck it, you fool. You Discord. You thought you could trick me, but
Oh yeah,
you
they
didn't.
like right click and then like show non-video participants checked off. Yeah, it's pretty classic.
Let me just
Pretty classic move. If I say so
It
myself.
should be showing up as it should be showing up. Can you see this, Raymond?
Yeah, it's looking good on my end. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure it's good on your setup.
Yeah,
So
it
really
should be.
matters.
Yeah, we got the 2 rectangles. So this is the site I'm using. We're not sponsored, but this is just the one that works that I've used before. Okay, so pretty simple settings right here. We're just gonna do single. We're gonna hit that a few times. We got dub. That way, dub is available for the shows that we pick. All genres.
We're
all
dub
that good
friendly.
stuff. Yeah, we're dub friendly. Okay, we speak English here in America. All right.
Even though I watch like 99% of anime sub, don't worry about it. We're dub friendly.
I don't anymore. I don't have the attention span for it anymore. Okay, we're gonna generate. So like I said, we're just gonna do it a few times, and then if anything, to save my resource.
Tenku Shinpan, that looks cool.
Okay. Discord's being an idiot right now. Okay, so what do we got here? We got
It's like 25, 12 episodes. We can do that.
25. Oh, 12 episodes.
At least in
okay,
2021.
good. Got 6.7. That's not great. It's not the best score ever made.
It could be enjoyable. I don't know where it lands on the spectrum here.
Okay, so I'm just gonna open it in a new tab so we can look at it in a second.
Yeah, just middle click that bad boy.
But I don't know why it keeps doing this. Discord keeps popping up like, oh, we've paused to save resources. I have all the resources, okay?
I am the resource.
God. Get out of here, Raymond. Messing everything up. Okay, so we're just gonna do it a few more times. Let's see. So I guess we'll just do next.
Just click
right?
next.
Yeah, I guess so. Random order.
Rolling Girls. It came out in 2015.
Okay.
Wait, is this the motorcycle or bike anime? Yo.
It's pretty new. Not a great score, but you know, it happens.
Or is this a gang anime?
Well, we can look at it in a second. I just want to get all the picks, and we can deep dive. You can pull it up on your end as well if you want to. But
Okay.
yeah. So this is gonna be number 3.
Dead Mount Death Play. This came out this year.
This is I've actually heard of this. This is airing though, isn't it?
It's in April.
Oh no, it's not.
only
It's April. Oh, it's not
okay.
airing. Okay, good. Okay, I think I've heard it. I think people thought this was kind of cool. So maybe we'll.
Okay. That could be interesting.
This is number 4.
Venus versus Virus.
That's a title. Man, we're
Let's
not
go.
we're not getting okay.
Well, I think that's the
Elementary
thing with the
difficult.
random is that this is what you kind of intentionally want. You want
Yeah,
something
no,
kind
yeah,
of
no.
mid-ish.
I'm totally not complaining. This is just funny to me.
Goth lolly-clad monster killer named Lucia. Okay, so
Hell yeah, dude. I like all those words. Okay, then last one. Ninja
Judy
Scroll.
Ninfucho.
Sounds kind of sick.
Ninja Scroll? I think I've okay. Ninja Scroll I've heard of. Okay.
That's kind of sick. Okay, so those are the 4 picks. Um, I'm gonna end the stream now. We just want to do that for the picks, so they know we weren't cheating over here.
It's random. True random.
Oh shoot. Oh man. Oh, what are we doing? Oh jeez. Oh my gosh. Um. Let me turn on my gosh dang.
It's looking good. It's the goddamn silverfish.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
It's good for me. I don't know about you, but I mean.
Why do we even use Discord? There we go. Now we're bumping. Now we're doing it. Now we're doing this. We're doing this. It doesn't look good to me. And we're flipped. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Nothing makes sense in this world anymore. It doesn't matter. We're at the end. Okay. So high-rise invasion. High school student Yuri finds himself in a lost abnormal space where countless skyscrapers are connected by bridges. We got mass figures slaughtering people. He's got to kill the mass figures. Kill or be killed, basically. That's what it looks like here. Yeah. So it just looks like kind of like a.
I actually clicked on this anime before. What in the world? Or clicked on this manga. The Wikipedia link was purple.
Oh man.
If that says anything. Okay, no, I know this show.
Wow, this is yeah, people are dunking on this show.
No, I've seen the show. This is the one with the people with the white masks, like Dream.
You've watched this before?
No, I haven't seen this before.
Oh, okay. I was like,
There,
Ray,
I don't know if you remember. I'll say something. There was a guy in Club, which is a reference that you kind of understand, who is really into this. Actually,
we may have seen like the first episode of this in Club then.
yeah,
I
we
feel
may
like I
have.
somewhat remember.
But this came out when the anime came out, like 2020. So I don't think we've seen.
Oh, maybe not.
But he was really into it though.
It's
There's one guy.
Probably the manga then.
Like he had a cosplay that was one of the characters from the show.
Yeah.
I think you remember that.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, so that is a option. We got the Rolling Girls. 10 years after the Great Tokyo War, each prefecture split up into different nations, kind of an alternate history. Each nation is ruled by a prophet called Moza and an army called Mob. As they start to compete to take over other countries, 4 mob girls from the Saitama clan, Nozumi, Yukina, Ai, and Shia, are ordered by their Mosa to travel around Japan riding their motorcycles to mediate multiple battles between nations and clans as they emerge. Interesting.
see, Rolling Girls could be fun, but I don't know how much I'm willing to go in on it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the art style. It looks very nice. Yeah. Looks fine. Yeah. Dead Mount Death Play. As a legendary hero nears victory against the necromancer known as the Corpse God, things take an unexpected turn with the Dark Sorcerer's final gambit, Reincarnation Magic. The last-ditch effort catches the brave fighter off guard, and now he's a boy named Polka Shinoyama in a whole new world. The showdown between good and evil just got epic. Sure? Yeah. Okay. So he's fighting the Corpse God. And then... So does he learn reincarnation magic? Catches the brave fighter off guard and now he's... Is this an isekai? Are you out here giving me an isekai?
It's an isekai.
Freak? You absolute. You. This is an insult to my intelligence.
This actually is it airing now?
It is? Is
I'm
it
trying to
airing
see if
now?
it is or not. No, it's not. It says
Oh no, it ended June
it said it
27th.
finished airing June. Okay, June. Okay.
Yeah, so it was last season. Venus versus Virus. After a lifetime of seeing ghosts, young Sumire is recruited by powerful Lucia to fight demons. Oh man. The girls battle darkness as members of the Venus Vanguard, a group dedicated to ridding the world of its greatest threat, virus. They hate technology. As they discover why every life is worth saving, they also learn their own unlocked potential for evil. Wait. So they're
The
evil?
virus is a demon or a tortured soul.
Wait, so
That's what it means.
they're
Is this Monster of the Week? Yo!
Is it? Okay. Interesting.
It doesn't look bad. It definitely is Monster of the Week, though.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Not a huge fan of that. Ninja Scroll Jubei Kibagami has always been the master dealer of death, but in
Ninja Scroll's a
rescuing
classic.
a ninja woman from a monster, he sets loose a chain of events that puts death in his own veins and sends them on a nightmarish odyssey through a surreal and devil-infested ancient Japan. How do demonic possessions, an island village, and a man Jubei thought safely buried in his past all connect? Oh man. If Jubei can't piece the blood-soaked clues together, his only consolation will be that he won't live to regret it for very long. Prepare your mind and steel for gut for the insane violence. Okay, it's just editorializing. Okay, so sort of a mystery ninja action type show. That sounds kind of fun. This is a movie. You absolute
No, there's a series.
monster. Okay, there's a series. But is one necessary for...
But the movie is a prequel. I think most people know about it from the movie.
So... Okay. I don't know what that means though. So, like, do you need... Because the movie came out before the show.
Yeah.
Like, do you need to watch the movie then? I don't know why I'm
No,
asking
we can
you.
try.
I don't know
We
why.
can try not. It is that the movie's a prequel for sure. So
Okay. Okay.
like this is like OG blockbuster anime. You know what I'm saying?
So how you feeling, Ray? Right off the top, any gut reactions to any of these? Any ones you're feeling? Any ones you're super
I'll tell you
not
what.
feeling?
I don't think I'm not feeling any of them unless you want to really not feel isekai.
So my general thoughts, right? High Rise seems like it could be fun. I feel like this is one of those shows that, like, it's so bad it's entertaining. You know, it kind of falls into that category, which I'm not mad at. Especially since we don't really have a show like that, and that is almost sort of the premise for this segment of the randomizer thing.
I don't know. Is High Rise self-aware? Does it like know it's like?
That's something that I don't know. It is like one of the most watched shows of the year it came out though. Which is kind of crazy. The Rolling Girls seems like something I would be really into, but I don't know if it's like if it'd be fun for the podcast, you know? Dead Mount Death Play really kill me with the isekai thing, but I'm not super mad at it. I don't think it's a zombie thing. Oh, it is reincarnation. That does make sense. That does make sense. I don't really think the Venus one sounds good. I think that one sounds kind of boring. And then the Ninja Scroll one sounds cool, but it's also confusing me. Yeah. I think my vote would be between High Rise or the Death Play.
We can go Death Play.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Let's hop on the Isekai train.
Let's do it, man. Let's hop on that train. Okay. At least it's a newer show, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at like High Rise. Like, at least the people are just saying read the manga. Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
Okay, so I will lock that in then. And if it sucks, well, only 12 episodes. And honestly, if it super sucks, we can drop it.
But they do say though for High Rise, there is like one redeeming character that they say is the best character in the entire thing. And to be fair, we already know the character. It is Sniper Mask.
Okay.
The name should remind you who he is. As the coolest character in the entire show. Well, yes, he has a sniper and he wears a mask.
Oh, dude, if we went to 8 picks, our 8th pick was Fate.
Which one?
Fate Zero.
We would never do it there. It would have to be on the Rayman pick. It's a shame.
Our 18th pick was One Punch Man. Which we wouldn't do because we both, oh, dude, Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. That was a good show. That was a feel-good show. Okay, so I'm going to add this to the list. So
I'm watching the list update in real time.
You don't even know. Oh, okay. You were talking about the Google Doc. I was talking about Analyst.
Oh, okay.
I was like, there's no way you don't follow me on Analyst. There's no way you would know.
How would you know that? You got no followers?
I guess
0?
You're right. Wow, that was rude. I have curated my following list with followers.
Only the finest people follow me.
The finest. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Dead Mount Death Play, I think it was called. So we'll do episodes 1 and 2 next time. Yeah, and like I said, this segment, I think Ray, you actually brought it up when I pitched you this. We normally don't drop shows because I think that's I don't know.
We normally don't. Yeah, I think if we feel like we need to drop I think either the random show or the fan service show.
Yep.
Those are drops, 100%.
Which you guys don't know about that yet, but you will soon. We'll have in literally 2 weeks, we'll have 2 more segments open, so that'll be fun. We'll probably get to the fan service one and then maybe another one. That'd be a good time. But yeah. This is one of the few times where I think, especially with us doing random stuff and us not having like super high control over what we do. If it is like a slog and we're both like, the show is boring, because like a bad show can be entertaining, but a boring show is just like,
it's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not fun for anyone who's involved with a boring show.
Yeah, so.
But I can watch bad shows.
And especially when it's balanced by other shows currently that are pretty good and we actually enjoy right now. So it's like, oh, it's nice. It's a nice variety,
It's like I can watch something to rant on it. I don't think I can rant a lot on boring other than say nothing happens.
Oh yeah, I mean there have been shows that we've ranted on before on this where it's like every week it's like, all right, we got something to talk about here.
If it is, I may have to start coming up with my own bits again. We've done it before.
I mean, we did Rent a Girlfriend for a while, and that was
Rent a Girlfriend stuff happens though. It may not be what you want. Like Rent a Girlfriend is, I'll put quotes around it, bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really like it's entertaining to watch. People do actually like it. There is an audience for Rent a Girlfriend. I don't know who it is, but there's people there.
I feel like it's the equivalent of how some people watch reality TV, where it's like no one thinks this is really good, but it's entertaining, and like in that way it's good. like that's what Rent a Girlfriend is.
Rent a Girlfriend is weird because it's also a harem anime, but I would never think of it as such.
Because on paper it is, but it's really not. Like when you watch it, it's like,
Yeah,
no, there's only one girl he's gonna end up with. Like there's no chance he ends up with anyone else. There's absolutely no chance.
yeah, no, you're right. That's just how it is. These other characters are just on the side, really. Like they will get sidelined immediately if something happens.
Mm-hmm. I like speaking of harem, show just came out, the 100 Girlfriends show.
Yeah,
Anime finally came out.
I gotta watch it.
And I saw one comment that was like, they were clearly a manga reader, and they were like, hey, viewers, like, don't worry, like, you don't have to fight over who's best girl because they're all best girl. Like, literally, every girl's the best and every girl wins.
Okay, I was on Reddit. Okay, let me be real. This is a weird pseudo dot, but not really, because I pay attention to usernames on Reddit.
Okay.
I'm one of the guys who tags people on Reddit for like stuff, so I know who they are. It's like I know what someone posts more of if I see them multiple times. So like, there's the One Piece guy, Ohara Librarian Archer, who has his own YouTube channel. He's kind of like bigger in One Piece community for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how he's not like super big. There's like other big One Piece YouTubers who do a lot of clickbait and stuff, but he also kind of plays the game of it. It's hard out here being a YouTuber. You understand that, right?
Sure.
It's like
No, I wouldn't know. I have no experience.
It's a shame. Yeah. So like I've seen his post like way before on when Smash Bros Ultimate came out. He came out with manuals that he printed for like the game, and then like different like movesets for the characters and like how to play. And everyone was like really into those, and I was like, oh, this is Librarian Archer posting this. So I have like a weird thing where I can like see the tag the people. Okay, it's weird. So I see him again posting for 100 Girlfriends. He's commenting on there, and he's like saying a lot of stuff in the comments that are like hyping it up. And I'm like, man's a fan. He clearly enjoys the show.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you want to see.
This is my One Piece guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's the episode, Ray.
That's just warning people now. So like, if I see someone post anything on Reddit and it's interesting, I'm gonna tag you, and if you post anywhere else, I'll find you.
Oh no. And then what happens from there? Who knows? Who can say?
Just got a mental record, you know?
I made a list, and oof, you don't want to be on the list.
Like for you, because you would know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like I tagged Andy Blanchard from when he was posting on RT, right?
Sure.
And then I saw him put something up on like the Destiny Reddit.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
And then that post blew up, right? Because he was like dodging skill shots while he was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't hitting his hitbox because he was moving out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like whatever that post was, it blew up. Okay. So like, I'm just saying, like, that's an example of like what I do. Like, I'll see a post and be like, hey. Like, I'll find it.
I'll do it.
By coincidence, I'm not like, like looking for it. It's just like I see it on my feed and you're already tagged, and like that's it.
You're like an accidental detective.
Yeah, I'm like this. I'm like, this guy made some fan art like 3 years ago that looked really cool, and he made this thing that looks also really cool, but it's different than the fan art he was pumping out 3 years ago, and I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, this guy made an edit of a mobile game image for a meme and got upvotes, and now he's doing this comment here, and I remember why I tagged him. I'm a terrible person.
It happens, If the feature exists.
You were just too interesting on the internet. That's your fault. So I tagged you.
Oh man, what a mistake.
Your mistake is being too interesting or unique.
Yeah.
So you have Tyler tagged. That's what it really came down to. That's like the crux of the joke is that I had him tagged. Literally hasn't came up on any feed at all.
Gotcha. I'm a ghost. Okay, so yeah, next time we're gonna do.
So we're watching. It's a weird death parade isekai. We're doing.
Yep, we're doing that. First couple episodes. Watch 22 and 23 of the other aforementioned shows.
That's not the name of the show, by the way. It's like Death Bloom Party.
Oh man, you got it. You're there. Oh, nailed it in one.
Whatever it is.
We already said it. We showed it. It's there. It'll be in the description for next episode. Yeah, so that's it. Raymond, thank you for joining me today. I really hope the fans like you, so I can bring you on next week. You know,
because
otherwise, oof.
So you got a new solo show going on. I think obviously it's going good without me.
What are you talking about? Why are you doing this to me? Why do you insist on being this way?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I also don't know what you're talking about.
Me going to the Tiger T YouTube channel.
Okay, anyway, we're ending it. That's Raymond. I'm Tyler.
I'm Rayman. What's up?
That's it. I'm done. That's the end of the episode. Bye.